Hey there friends and enemies, JoPa here again, and today I want to showcase another Prismatic Warlock build in Destiny 2 that I've been really enjoying, especially utilizing two of the brand new Episode Echoes weapons that I absolutely love so far, and using an exotic that I think a lot of people are sleeping on because I haven't seen it used a lot. This playstyle might be a little bit different for a lot of people, but I think the whole gameplay loop is very enjoyable once you get it down. So I am using the Apotheosis Veil exotic helmet for the Warlock with the armor perk Insatiable. Immediately regenerate health, melee, grenade, and rift energy for you and your nearby allies upon activating your super. After your super ends, temporarily gain greatly increased melee and grenade regen. So this will allow you to really spam not only your super if you are using the brand new Song of Flame solar super, but also your abilities after you get out of your super as well. You'll have your rift very consistently, and I essentially want as much uptime on my abilities with this as possible, which is very, very nice. You pair this with something like the Lost Signal grenade launcher, which is from Episode Echoes. I have auto loading and unrelenting, so I never really have to worry about healing with a rift, and I'll explain why I'm using the empowering rift in a second, but also healing consistently with this. Same thing for Time Worn Wayfarer, which I've crafted with heal clip and incandescent. Again, I can heal myself, and if you didn't know, this is one of those single load scout rifles that is very good to hip fire with, but if you load a single bullet after getting a kill, you will proc heal clip. Plus, incandescent on this is very, very nice. Not everyone likes these types of scout rifles, but I personally very much enjoy them. And if you want to mitigate the long reload, you can also toss on a solar loader, which I have on, and that pairs well not only with Time Worn Warfare, but also the Parasite as well, which again has a longer reload, but you can get kills very consistently on ads with this build, and so that way you can proc the times 20 charge for your Parasite and then get a kill with it and then put it away until you charge up even more, and it will auto reload pretty consistently, which I very much like. Now, as far as the subclass goes, I am using the Song of Flame. You could swap this out. This is one that I think would be fine with either your Needle Storm or Nova Bomb or anything like that as well, but I just think it pairs well with the Song of Flame overall. I'm also using Empowering Rift, like I mentioned, getting that increased weapon damage. You can use your Parasite while you're in your Rift for that bonus damage, or you can use your Lost Signal, which is nice, or your Scout Rifle. Then I also use Penumbral Blast. This is very nice for freezing tankier enemies, basically sticking them in place, and then you can use your Lost Signal or your Parasite or whatever to finish them off. Same thing with the Vortex Grenade. This is going to gather all your enemies in a small area. You will be able to then use your Lost Signal or your Scout Rifle in order to generate those radiolarian pools to get a bunch of kills all at once. It just synergizes really, really well. You want to essentially get everyone in one area. If you have a Hunter with Tether on your team, this could also pair very nicely as well. Now, I'm also running Feed the Void, so I can get Devour. This will work with my Vortex Grenade, but also my Hellion aspect. This is going to allow me to get that Solar Mortar, scorch enemies, and it works out well as well. It's just a ton of fun. I love having this on me at all times. The fragments are Purpose, Hope, Awakening, Dawn, and then Dominance, and a lot of this Void Weakening is very nice. You've got your Radiant pretty consistently with hitting enemies with your Penumbral Blast. You don't have to get kills or anything like that, so that's awesome. And overall, I just really enjoy the gameplay loop of this whole build. So let me jump into what I'm using for my mods and then the artifact perks as well. I have on a Solar Siphon and then Stasis Siphon. You can toss on Powerful Friends as well. Your build is really helpful when you are playing in a group, so having additional mods to help out your teammates is also very nice. Grenade Kickstart and then Firepower. We've got Solar Reserves and then Damage Resist for whatever activity you're taking on, whatever the surges that you have to deal with. Then we've got Solar Holster, again, very nice for that auto reload over time. Better Already, and then Solar Weapon Surge, and then finally Reaper, Bomber, and Powerful Attraction. Now, because two of my weapons are using the Radiolaria Transposer Origin perk, I have on Logic Reducer and Overcharged Armory. Those are important. The rest of them you can mix and match what you're using. I also have on Creeping Chill. This is so if I slow or freeze an enemy with my Penumbral Blast, then I can use my Lost Signal to kill those enemies and then also create a additional burst that slows enemies as well. I'm also using all three of Void Hegemony, Radiant Orbs, and then Galvanic Armor, so that way I'll become Amplified, Radiant, as well as Overshield whenever I am defeating weakened targets. That's why I have on the Weakening Grenade, and then whenever I am picking up an Overpower or also reducing incoming damage while amplified, which is nice. I also have on Transference and then Shield Crush as well. I want to have that Void Overshield as well as my Devour procced pretty consistently, and because I'll be amplified and radiant as well as have an Overshield, I'll be generating my abilities very quickly, especially when I am Transcendent. So overall, the combination is just a ton of fun. Essentially, you want to get into combat, pop your Rift first off, toss a grenade or your melee into the enemies, and then send a lost signal shot. That's when you can swap to your Time-Worn Wayfarer, get a couple kills with that on top of your abilities, and by the time you dump a clip of your scout rifle into the enemies, everything else should be pretty much fully back. You'll have your grenade launcher shot back, you'll have your abilities back as well, so it just pairs really, really well in that way. Apologies for my dogs in the background. They wanted to let you guys know that this build is a ton of fun as well. Anyway, the rest of the build, once you pop your super, that's when this really gets a shine. That's why I want to generate a bunch of orbs and make sure that I'm trying to get my super as quickly as possible, because after that, it's just pure ability spam mixed in with a parashot sight shot or potentially a lost signal if need be. But overall, your boost from being transcendent and or in your super very consistently makes the build cycle very, very fun. You can do a ton of damage, you can kill a ton of enemies, and just really have this nice fun cycle that I very much enjoy. And I hope a lot of other people will try out different builds, because I do feel like Prismatic has opened up a world of opportunities with different old armor exotics that we have, and then new exotic armors as well, that people are just going with the meta right now. They're just sticking to the tried and true formulas instead of really experimenting, because there are some interesting interactions that I think can provide unique new gameplay styles that are very interesting and very fun and can tackle the majority of content in this game. Like, this build would be perfectly fine in most content, especially if you make sure that you're able to take down champions, and being the either amplified or radiant or having the scout rifle, all of that means you can take down a lot of champions at different times, and it just makes for, again, a very fun gameplay loop that I very much enjoy. So anyway, if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, it helps me out tremendously, shows you want to see more Destiny 2 content from me going forward. I really do appreciate it. I've been having a ton of fun making these videos. I said that a lot, but I really have. It's been a good time making builds, testing out new things, trying different types of activities to test them out and seeing what works and what doesn't, and overall it's just a very good time. I'm trying to get better rolls on my exotic class armors so I can make some builds with that, but that is a very time consuming process because it feels like I can't get the rolls that I want, and I'm getting a bunch of other rolls that just aren't synergizing quite as well. But anyway, that's my little rant for the exotic class armors. But overall, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe as I mentioned. My name is JoPa. Have a good one. I'll catch you all later.